Good afternoon to everybody. I'm Mario Festin. I'm an OBGYN and a professor in the University of the Philippines in Manila. I used to work in family planning in the World Health Organization for over 10 years. And emergency contraception was one among the things that I was working on. I'd like to introduce my colleague here, Angela.
Hello, everyone. Lovely to be here. I'm Angela Dawson. I'm a professor of public health at the University of Technology in Sydney, Australia. I'm also the co-founder of the Asia Pacific Consortium for Emergency Contraception and very much involved in the Australasian Sexual and Reproductive Health Alliance. So Mario and I are here to provide you with a quick update on the basics of emergency contraception. And one method is known as the... And we also want to provide you with references to evidence-based information about EC so that you can check if the influencer that you follow on TikTok or Instagram if they know what they're talking about, all right? So you can check in. So we've only got 10 minutes, so let's dive right in. And I'd like to ask Mario a question about the methods. How many methods do we have, Mario? And what do we know about them?
At present, we have 5 recognized methods for emergency contraception. The most commonly known are the ECP, or the EC pills. The first one is levonorgestrel, which is 1.5 milligrams, given either as 1 tablet or 2 tablets, and 30 milligrams of ulipristal acetate, and these 2 are the most widely available. In some countries, they also have 10 to 25 milligrams of mifepristone marketed as an emergency contraceptive. The other emergency contraceptive method that is not widely known that it could be such is the copper IUD. And that could be inserted within 5 days after the episode of unprotected sex. And one method that has been used in countries is the combined oral contraceptive pills, which is given over a few days. And this is the YASP method. It is not always recommended because it is less effective and has many side effects. But we need to be aware that these are just a few options that are available as emergency contraception. And we have to take them if we don't use a method well, or there was an episode of unprotected sex and you did not use any method. But we have to be informed to use that one which would be most suited for us. For more information, you could try searching at the WHO website, who.int, for the EC, or Emergency Contraception Fact Sheet. It was just last updated in 2021. Angela, aside from a public health perspective, do you think it's safe to use emergency contraceptive pills?
Absolutely, super safe. Using emergency contraceptive pills is always safer than pregnancy or abortion. EC pills have very few medical contraindications, almost none actually, and no restrictions for use. So EC emergency contraceptive pills can be used by very young women or older women. They could be used by women who are breastfeeding as well. And if needed, they can be used more than once. And even in the same cycle. So there are quite a number of tools to help women, or even pharmacists in fact, or other health providers assess those with very rare contraindications or restrictions. So if you wanted to learn more, there's some fantastic tools out here, including the EC wheel here, fabulous tool to help you, or in fact, WHO's medical eligibility criteria wheel for contraceptive use. So coming back to you, Mario, EC pills are often confused with medicines to terminate a pregnancy, or also known as abortifacients or medical abortion. Can you tell us how EC pills actually work?
We did a lot of research to make sure what is the mechanism of action. And the one that we have established is that EC pills interfere with the process of ovulation. If the woman has not started to ovulate yet, ECPs will delay ovulation. So even if the sperm can stay in the genital tract for as much as 5 days, if there is no ovulation, there is no egg, there is no fertilization, there is no pregnancy. So it's the main mechanism of action, and there is no fertilization, no ovum, no fertilized ovum yet. However, if the ovulation has already taken place, there is a chance that there will be fertilization, and that means ovulation has taken place, EC pills will not work, and it will not be able to prevent the pregnancy. To learn more, we suggest you also look for the FIGO, International Federation of Gynecology and Obstetrics, and the International Consortium for Emergency Contraception, ICEC, article on emergency contraceptive pills, medical and service delivery guidance, which was published in 2018, which describes more clearly the mode of action of these methods. So you could find them in the Emergency European Consortium for Emergency Contraception.org website. So tongue twister over there.
Yeah, thanks,
Okay.
Mario. Now, a few years ago, we saw a big sort of outbreak in the media about the BMI issue, that the weight or the body mass index of the person using EC pills may have an effect on how effective the pill would be. But the information was quite confusing, and people had lots of questions. I wonder if we can clarify this to our audience.
Well, we did that review of about 4 different big studies on emergency contraception, and we stratified the analysis based on the different weight categories: normal weight, overweight, and obese. We found that ECPs may be less effective among women with higher BMIs, or the BMI is more than 30 kilograms per meter squared. That's what we call obese generally. The negative effect on obesity seems to be higher, has an higher effect with LNG as compared to ulipristal. So if you're going to choose between the two, choose UPA. But the method that is not affected by weight or BMI is the copper IUD. So after copper IUD, UPA, these should be recommended as first-line treatment or for obese BMI women. Women, however, should not be denied access to EC just because they have a higher weight or have a high BMI, because even if they're less effective, it doesn't mean it is not effective. So if that is the only option you have, we recommend giving even levonorgestrel if you don't have the other options. Because what is important is that we have access. To learn more, there is a document which was prepared by the American Society for Emergency Contraception. It just came out this year. The title of the document is Efficacy of Emergency Contraception and Body Weight, the Current Understanding and Recommendations. And you could do that on Google search or Google Docs or just on main search engines. So, Angela, this was relatively very short. I don't even think it should be 101 or maybe one half of 101. What do you recommend to those who want to learn more about EC and stay informed of research findings, advocacy efforts, and to make EC more accessible and find recommendations? I think we have a slide for that.
Yeah, so I recommend to all our colleagues that they join the EC consortium in your region. So you can see listed here at the center, we're in Asia, we're in Thailand at the moment, and you can see that there's the Asia Pacific Consortium. We've also got a European one, an American one in Latin America, and of course there's always the international consortium. So these are networks of individuals and organizations that work to increase knowledge in emergency contraception and uptake of it. And it's a great way to get in touch with all the stakeholders that play a role in advocating for EC. So love to talk to you after the session. Come and see Mario and I. And of course, don't forget all those fabulous resources that we've identified. These are really, really key to improving access and uptake. Thank you very much, Mario.
Thank you. And I don't think I'll bring this back home, so maybe some of you who want this, I'll be willing to give them away. Especially, I have French copies of the EC wheel. So those who from Africa, very good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us this afternoon.